I went to the forest to pick berries, and since the places were not familiar enough to me, I got lost. I came out of the forest when it was already quite dark to some object near the railway. 4 small, inconspicuous houses with no lights on. I knocked on each of them and, as it turned out, all 4 houses were abandoned, but the last house, the farthest one, was not locked, unlike the others. I went inside, hoping to get some rest after hiking in the woods. It was warm inside, but it smelled damp. It was clear that no one had visited the house for a long time, but everything was neatly cleaned and clean. I sat down on the bed and listened. Water was gurgling somewhere nearby. Apparently a stream was running. The moon appeared in the only window. It was already late, and I decided to spend the night in this warm place until morning. I lay down on the bed and quickly fell asleep. I don't know how long I slept, but I woke up with a strong desire to go to the window. My feet went to the window on their own. The sound of the stream was in my ears, but it was louder than before. I looked out the window and was stunned. In the light of the moon, about 30 meters from the house, there was a silhouette of a large creature right in front of the window. The noise of the water in my ears became even louder. The silhouette did not move. He stood silently and looked at me. I don't know how long it lasted, but something suddenly shook its head and slowly walked heavily towards the forest. I felt very weak. Cold sweat ran through my body, and my hands shook violently. I felt very sick. I was so tired that I somehow reached the bed back and fell unconscious. I came to my senses the next day. The sun was at its zenith. It was clearly noon, but I did not feel strong after sleeping. On the contrary, I wanted to sleep even more. My soul was very disgusting and anxious, but I gathered my strength and left the house. Strangely enough, I no longer heard the murmur of the stream. I left this ill-fated place, and although it was hard to walk, after a while I still got on the highway and went home. I don't know what it was, but it seems to me that this creature hypnotized me and took away some of my energy. Thoughts of death and suicide swarmed in my head for several days after that. If it was a man, he was huge, 3 meters tall, or even more.